News. I'm Susan Oppat, and I'm joined today by Molly Reno, one of the attorneys for the 10 current and former female prison inmates who won a $15 million verdict against the State Department of Corrections last week. Welcome, Molly.
Thank you, Susan. I'm pleased to be here.
Please tell us a little bit about the factual basis for the lawsuit.
In the late 1980s, men started working in the housing units at the women's prison, and this was a change because historically only women guards guarded women. But the department started to let men in, and they didn't do adequate training of those men as to how to supervise women in their bedrooms, in the showers, using the toilet. And what happened was what would be expected is rampant sexual assault and sexual harassment.
What are we talking about specifically here? What kinds of complaints did the women make in this case?
We're talking about women who were raped. We're talking about women who were groped. The Michigan Department of Corrections had a policy that men had to pat down at least 5 women a day. They could pat down more than 5, but they had to do at least 5. And they got to pick those women. And a pat down, as they did it, included running their hands over the women's breasts, and the women reported the men's hands coming up into their crotch and vagina area. And it was just ongoing assaults, day after day after day.
Now, the case was filed in 1996 on behalf of about 500 female inmates, but only 10 of those women's cases actually went to court over the last month. Tell us a little bit about why you took that approach and how the case went.
It's a trial management approach. It would be very hard to present 500 women's stories. So we decided, and the judge decided, the parties decided to take 10 at a time, because that, although it's many people for the jury to hear about, it's more manageable than hearing about 500.
How did you choose the 10 women?
We went to the Scott Correctional Facility, and we chose women who were sexually abused there in the early 1990s.
And Scott is the facility in Plymouth?
It's a facility in Plymouth, and it was originally built as a men's facility. And then in the early 90s, they changed it to a women's facility. But they didn't do any of the things that should have been done architecturally to provide privacy for the women.
And why did you choose Washtenaw County for this case?
Well, Washtenaw County has the boot camp in Chelsea. It has the Huron Valley Center in Ypsilanti, and the Huron Valley Women's Facility also in Ypsilanti. So a lot of activity was going on here in Washtenaw County.
Now, you asked for a little under $15 million to be divided among the 10 women whose cases happened, but you got more than you asked for.
We did. We were very gratified that the jury could feel the pain of the women, and they expressed the outrage of the community that the Michigan Department of Corrections year after year ignored a problem that was right in their face and denied that it happened. And the jury also issued a public apology, a very unusual thing for a jury to do. May I read it?
Please.
The jury had the following apology for the 10 women. We, the members of the jury, as representatives of the citizens of Michigan, would like to express our extreme regret and apologies for what you've been through. And I tell you, this apology meant more to our clients than the money.
Now, that still leaves, though, nearly 500 plaintiffs that you have.
It certainly
What's next?
does.
What comes next?
Well, we really hope that the Department of Corrections will get the message that this is a problem that needs to be cleaned up, and that they won't be wasting the taxpayers' money by continuing to delay and delay. Because each year they delay, interest gets added on to the judgment. And we just want to resolve this with them. And so we're hoping that this will be a strong enough message to them that they'll sit down with us and we can come to an overall settlement. Because that's all we want.
Thanks very much for coming, Molly. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Susan.